Want a dress that's easy to stitch and modern to wear? This comfy Batwing dress is a remix of our cardigan project, upcycled into a sleek, made-to-measure fit. Hey guys, I'm T, maker of 600 plus crochet patterns and tutorials. Welcome to the channel. Today's tutorial is an upcycle fashion remix. We're reimagining our Batwing cardigan into a Batwing wrap dress that's drapey, dramatic, and tailored to you. With its oversized Batwing silhouette paired with a fitted skirt, this project proves crochet can be sustainable, statement-making, and runway ready. If you're new here, welcome! I share crochet fashion tutorials every Sunday and Wednesday, so tell a friend, tap the bell, and subscribe so you never miss an upload. And if you enjoy the video, give it a big thumbs up, or 2 thumbs down if you don't. Either way, it helps keep these tutorials free. Any category for yarn work, I used a total of 500 grams, that's 1,125 yards, along with a 5, 6, and 9 millimeter hook. Pattern link below. Use code TCDDIY for a discount on orders over $9.99. And stay to the end for this week's pattern giveaway. We're using 4 stitches for this project. Chain, slip stitch, single, and half double crochet, working all within the back loops, giving elegant ribbing that keeps the garment flowy. This tutorial is for size small. You can adjust it for your size, and we'll explain how to in the video. So without further ado, here's how to crochet your own Batwing wrap dress. Let's start the body of this remix dress. 2 rectangles for the front panels that cross over in the wrap shape, giving us a relaxed Batwing drape. We're all going to grab our category 4 yarn, make a slip knot. Then our 9 millimeter hook, and we're going to create a foundation half double crochet row that measures from the top of your shoulder down to the top of your hips. This length is going to give us enough room for the body to wrap across the chest while still leaving that relaxed touch we'll achieve after we make our waistband. Now just for this example, I did switch out to a 6 millimeter hook just to make sure we all got it down. But we are making this section with a 9 millimeter hook. Start with a yarn over. Into that first chain that we made, underneath that front loop and that back bump at the same time. Yarn over, pull through those 2 strands on our hook to get 3 loops. Yarn over, pull through just that first loop. Pulling through just that first forms the chain for the foundation row. Then we're going to half double per usual, so yarn over and pull through 3. The next one, yarn over, in through that chain that we made, inserting into that front and back loop at the same time. Yarn over, pull through those 2 strands to get 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through just the first to form that chain, then half double per usual, so pull through all 3. Now I have already measured mine out. I need about 17 inches or 43 centimeters, so that's going to be a foundation half double crochet row of 50. And remember, we are still actually using our 9 millimeter hook. Now from here, we're going to build the width by adding rows of half double crochets in the back loops. Chain 2, that's our turning chain, flip our work, and yarn over. Into that first stitch's back loop, or the loop that's furthest away from us, half double per usual. Again, yarn over. Next stitch is back loop with a back loop half. Then work 1 half double crochet into every back loop. Then just repeat this 1 row. Easy peasy. We're going to start about 2 inches past the tip of our shoulder and continuing inward to the side of the base of our neck. Make sure we end right after an even number row, then cut. This creates a comfy foundation for the Batwing sleeve. But make sure that we're keeping track of how many foundation stitches that we just made and also how many rows that we do for the front panel. And the total width that I needed for the front panel is just about 8 inches or 20 centimeters, and that's a total of 16 rows. Now once we have 1 panel completed, we're actually going to be making a second that is exactly the same. Then we've got our 2 front pieces down. Now the back panel anchors the whole silhouette and gives the whole cardigan its cozy structure. And it is yet another rectangle. So start with the same foundation half double crochet stitches as you did for the front panel. Remember, this foundation row runs from the top of our shoulder down to the hip. Then we're going to build the width of the back panel just by adding rows of back loop half doubles exactly the same way we did the front. This panel is going to be worked from 2 inches past our shoulder, across our back to 2 inches past the tip of our other shoulder. That's going to give us that relaxed off-duty silhouette, but with just enough structure to balance the Batwing sleeves. Now make sure your back panel is at least as wide as both your front panels combined, or a little bit more. That little extra space creates room for the neckline and keeps the fit easy and wearable. My back panel is 34 rows, and now that the panels are done, it's time to bring the shoulders together. We're going to lay our back panel flat. Then place our front panel on top, aligning the top edges at the shoulder. Then just single crochet seam along the top to join. We're just working a single crochet row in through both panels at the same time. So into that first top loop within the front panel, insert, first top loop within the back panel, insert, and we're going to single crochet everything together. And work your seam from the shoulder inward to the edge of the front panel, making sure that your stitches are even and not too tight. Now pause here just to double check your alignment before you seam the second shoulder. This step is going to set the stage for that relaxed drop shoulder look. So it's structured enough to hold its shape, but soft enough to move with you. Now, let's shape those batwing sleeves. The sleeves extend the body's rectangles in a dramatic batwing silhouette, balancing the wrap with flow. Now, since the body already extends 2 inches past the tip of our shoulder, we're going to be adding a short sleeve section that tapers down to mid-forearm, and that's going to be where the cuff begins. So to create this soft taper, we're going to work 1 row at a time, decreasing by 4 stitches per row. We're going to place our decreases roughly at each quarter of the row. Now they don't have to be perfectly spaced, just keep them as even as possible. So make sure your work is flipped right side out. So the seam that we did for the shoulder is now along the inside. Then we're going to place our hook into the bottom corner stitch of both the front and the back panel, and pull through. That's going to kind of act as our seam. Since we aren't doing an actual seam, it's just going to connect both panels and chain 2. That chain 2 doesn't actually count as a stitch. And the decreases that we're going to do is actually invisible decreases in the back loop. It's basically a normal half double crochet, but just inserting your hook into 2 stitches at the same time. Yarn over. Into that first stitch, we're still working in the back loops, so bring your hook underneath that first back loop. Then, since we want to work into both of these stitches, bring your hook up that next back loop. So now we're working into 2 stitches, yarn over and pull through those 2 strands, yarn over, pull through 3, so that's a half double per usual. And just keep working our back loop halves until we reach our next stitch marker, another invisible decrease. And just continue to invisible decrease at every stitch marker. So each row is going to shrink by 4 stitches. There's 1 decrease, 2, 3, and 4. It's going to gradually narrow down the sleeve for that relaxed cocoon shape. So keep repeating this decrease row until the sleeve reaches mid-forearm. And make sure that you're keeping track of the amount of stitches that we have per row, because we are going to have to repeat this on the other side. Now, a really quick side note is if your sleeve doesn't taper all the way down to get a snug fit at the forearm, that is totally fine. The cuff will cinch it in and give it that cozy gathered finish. But also, if it does taper down, but you still want a little bit more length, just continue to do back loop half double crochet rows, no more increases and no more decreases. But either way, we're all meeting at the forearm for the length of the cuff. Now, if you're liking these upcycle projects as much as we are, don't forget we do have channel memberships. That includes extra perks with exclusive discounts and behind the scenes content to keep your crochet journey inspired. And with my sleeve length completed, I have a total of 18 rows. This length is just about 10 inches or 25 centimeters. Now we're ready for the cuff, and we're going to start by switching out our hook to a 6mm hook. We're going to cinch it in first with a single crochet row, alternating between 1 to 2 single crochets. So just find that first stitch, insert with 1 single, into that next stitch with 2, and keep alternating all the way around. Now we do already have stitches to work into. This single crochet row is just going to help it keep the width that it currently is. And then once we have made our way around with our single crochet row, we're just going to close off the row by slip stitching into that chain space that we made when we first started this row. Now let's work on the length of the cuff. We're going to work the cuff lengthwise, so start with a chain the length that we like for the cuff to be. Since we are going to have thumb holes, I'm going to make my chain reach roughly at the palm of my hand, so that's going to be a chain 30 for me. That's about 7 inches or 18 centimeters. Now time for some knit-like stitches with back loop slip stitches. So chain 1, that's our turning chain. Into that second chain from our hook, we're going to insert in through the back bump with a slip stitch. So this singular loop right here is our back bump. We're going to insert your hook in through there, yarn over, and gently pull through everything on our hook. We want to make sure that we're not pulling through too tightly, otherwise the next row can be way too tight to work into, so just be careful of that. Into that next stitch's back bump with another slip stitch. And you may be curious why we're working back bump slip stitches. It's mainly so that once we make our way all the way around and we seam it, we can do an outside loop slip stitch seam to make it look like another slip stitch row. So if you flip your chain over, looking at the bottom of it, you are going to see stitches like this that basically looks like the top of the stitches. Keep working our back bump slip stitches until we reach the base. Then once we're worked into that last chain, we're going to connect it into the base, which the base is that single crochet row. So find that first available stitch. We're going to insert into there with a slip stitch. Now that slip stitch into the base doesn't count as a stitch. That's basically just to anchor our first row down. We are going to work our way up to the following row as well, so slip stitch up that next stitch into the base. That slip stitch still doesn't count as a stitch. That's basically our turning chain, and now we're going to flip our work. And now a back loop slip into every stitch. So into the last stitch from our previous row, not into any of those slip stitches. Insert into that back loop with a back loop slip, so just gently pull through everything until we reach the end of the row. At the end of the row, chain one flip. Make your way back down with more back loop slips, then connect it into the base the same way that we just did, and that's basically it for the cuff. It's just going to be a repeat of these two back loop slip stitch rows. Our cuff is nearly complete. We're now going to seam it, but add a little thumb hole as well. Right before we get started, we're all going to place stitch markers that frame our thumb right where it's going to sit once when the entire piece is done. I went ahead and inserted my stitch marker into the 5th and 10th stitch from the outer edge. So our work is still flipped right side out. We're going to place our hook in through the corner stitches and find that first stitch into the front panel of the cuff and insert only in through that front loop. Find that first stitch into the back panel of the cuff and insert in through that back loop, and these two loops are the reason why we worked in through the back bumps when we did our first slip stitch row. Then we're going to pull through everything. Again, next stitch in through the front panel, insert only into that front loop. Next into the back, insert in through that back, pull through everything. Work this until we reach our stitch marker, cut, then starting from the base, our same outside loop slip stitch seam until we reach that stitch marker, then cut again. So once we have one done, repeat it on the other side. And now with both sleeves and cuffs completed, we're going to transform this cardigan into our dress. We're going to join the two front panels by placing them on top of each other. Then we're going to cinch for the shape of the waistband, and we're going to single crochet first to create the foundation row. Now joining both the top and the bottom front panel, we're going to be working 3 single crochets in through every row. Now I know that 3 single crochets does sound like quite a lot, but since the body was worked with a 9mm and we're currently working with a smaller hook, it should all even out without giving us any stretch. So into the bottom of the sleeve, we're going to find a secure loop, then insert our hook into there. Now the bottom of the sleeve is in between the front and the back panel. We want to make sure that we have distinct sides, so that helps frame out our gusset. What we're going to do is just find a secure loop. There's not going to be an actual stitch for us to work into. Insert, pull, and chain 1. Now that chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch, that's just as secure. But working into that same stitch, we're going to insert starting with 1 single crochet. And since that is going to be one side, place a stitch marker into there. Now joining both the top and the bottom front panel, we're going to be working 3 single crochets in through every row. Now I know that 3 single crochets does sound like quite a lot, but since the body was worked with a 9mm and we're currently working with a smaller hook, it should all even out without giving us any stretch. Shoulder seam vibes again, but now with a twist. Now there's 3 single crochets into every side row this time, working in through both the top and the bottom front panel at the same time. Work your way across the front panels until we reach the next sleeve. Double check, the stitch count should be in multiples of 3. And to mirror the other side, drop 1 single crochet right into the bottom of this sleeve. Then across the back, things shift, but just a little bit. We're alternating between 1 to 2 single crochets into every side row. That way, we'll still land in multiples of 3 and keep the stitch count close to the front panel. Now, it doesn't have to be exact, just roughly in the same ballpark. When you finish this row, slip this piece on and make sure it feels comfy to wear. If it's a little bit off, now would be the perfect time to adjust your tension. Now we're going to want to pause here to make sure that the crossover is even and that the single crochet row just runs smoothly across the bottom of both the front panels and the back. We're going to close off the row by slip stitching into that chain space that we made. Leave your stitch marker into there for now. Yarn over, pull through everything on our hook. Then, just like how we did the cuff, we're going to make a chain the length that we'd like for the waistband to be. I'd like for my waistband to be just about 2 inches or 5 centimeters, so I'm starting with a chain 10. Then, working it exactly the same way as the cuff, we're going to slip stitch all the way down. Then connecting it into the base the same way that we did for the cuff as well. The only difference is that when we connect it into the base that our stitch marker's in, we just want to make sure that we're placing our stitch marker into the outer edge of the row, because we do definitely need to know where the 2 sides are exactly. Now we're going to continue until we built the ribbing all the way around the waist. Remember, same way that we did the cuff. Just make sure that we're placing the other stitch marker into the top of that row as well. Now this ribbing is going to naturally cinch and pull the body in, creating that fitted wrap silhouette. Right after we do our outside loop slip stitch seam, remember, again, same exact way that we seamed the cuff, minus the thumb holes by the way, try it on. Make sure that everything is symmetrical and fitting the way you need it to fit. Then we're ready to dress it up. Now we're moving into the dress section with our 5mm hook. This keeps the bottom fitted and the stitches nice and tight. No gaps here. Remember, flowy up top, structured on the bottom, kind of like a mullet. But anyways, work a single crochet row from stitch marker to stitch marker, but skip the stitch markers themselves. They're holding space for the gusset later. Now across the bottom of the front panel, place one single crochet in through every side slip stitch row, stopping just before the next marker. That should land you in multiples of 3. Perfect? Good. Cut your yarn. Then the length. Bring your hook back into that chain space that started that single crochet row. We're now going to make a chain as long as you like the dress to be. Mine's thigh to knee length, so I'm chaining about 75. That should be roughly 14 inches or 35 centimeters. Then chain 2, flip your work, and starting into the third chain from our hook, place 1 half double crochet in through every chain all the way back up. Then to connect it into the base, it's almost the same as our slip stitches, but now when we're connecting our odd number row, aim for the second stitch into the base because half double crochets are a little bit taller. Slip stitch into that next stitch into the base, flip our work, and work back with back loop half doubles back down. Now the dress keeps it simple. There's no increases, no decreases. After row 2, we're going to keep repeating these 2 half double crochet rows in through the back loops until we run out of stitches. We're going to cut, then repeat on the back side. Now it may look like a fashionable loincloth at this point, but the gusset will close up the sides and add some of that hip width that we may need. Now the gusset is just going to give us a little bit more room for the hips between the front and the back panel. All we're going to do is work a wedge shape into the opening V, decreasing at the center. So placing your hook into the bottom corner stitch of one of our panels, we're going to back loop half double crochet until we have 1 stitch left right before we reach the waistband. Then we're just going to do a decrease, 3 back loop halves. So into that last stitch on this side, pull through. Now the next stitch is going to be worked into the waistband so that we don't get a big gap, but there's not going to be an actual stitch for us to work into. So we're just going to insert into any stitch along the edge, pull through, just make sure it's secure. Then into the first stitch on this other side, into that back loop, pull through for 5 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through all 5, and make sure you place the stitch marker into the top of this decrease. Then keep working our back loop halves into every stitch all the way back down. And that's pretty much going to be it for this section. At the end of the row, chain 2, flip our work, 1 back loop half into every stitch. Then when we're at 1 stitch right before our stitch marker, another decrease 3 back loop halves, basically the same way that we just did the last one. And we're going to keep working this row, which every row should have 2 less stitches than the last row, until we have the hip width that we need. Now working both gusset sides at the same time actually helps keep the fit symmetrical, so if you're able to, work back and forth 1 row at a time for the perfect fit. Once both sides are done, I've got 4 rows per side by the way, seam them together with a single crochet seam. Now that's just like the shoulder seam, but way easier because this time we have actual stitches to work into. When one seam is completed, repeat on the other side. And now the last thing we have to do is simply weave in all of our ends. And there you have it, your very own wrap dress with beautiful batwing sleeves. I am extremely happy with how this upcycle project turned out, and I can't wait to see your versions. If you do make your own, be sure to post it in our community tab. I would absolutely love to see. Now, I want to hear from you guys. Where would you wear this dress? Drop your answers in the comments down below. Now enter this week's pattern giveaway for our quarter zip sweater and our cozy cable stitch beanie by answering what's the small daily ritual that makes you happiest. Is it coffee, tea, something else? Mine would just be sitting in bed with Chief, eating breakfast on a cold morning with our coffee. Now, if you love this tutorial, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a new pattern. We drop fresh content every Sunday and Wednesday. And if you want more, find us on Instagram and TikTok at TCDDIY for behind the scenes content, pattern sneak peeks, and daily crochet inspirations. And if you would like extra perks, become a channel member. You'll unlock exclusive discounts like up to 50% off patterns and fun BTS access. Now this wrap dress is just one of many upcycle crochet projects that we're exploring, so stay tuned. There's plenty more remix projects coming your way. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. We highly appreciate it. Happy hooking, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!